We need to listen to this very, very carefully. This is pertaining to the people that are still at large on the other side of the ocean, other side of the pond. These are the people that basically turned the tide towards America being a thriving, productive society to now total chaos going on 20 years later. The anniversary to this event is just about a month away. It was one of the most horrifying events that has ever hit the United States pertaining to the civilian population. What I'm talking about is September the 11th in 2001. What I'm talking about is the death and destruction of lots of people that happened just within a matter of a few minutes or within a few hours. Please listen to this. I think it's worthwhile of documenting and looking at. Please listen.
Mr. Burgeon, great reporting as always in Washington. Thanks so much. All right, more than 1,600 people who lost loved ones in the 9/11 attacks are issuing an ultimatum to President Biden. They want him to release the government's records on the attacks, as he promised during the campaign, or stay away from the memorial event planned at the 9/11 memorial next month.
There is concrete evidence that supports our allegations that the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia materially supported the hijackers, and we need the president to be our hero, be our president. That supports our allegations that the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia materially supported the hijackers. There is concrete evidence that supports our allegations that the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia materially supported the hijackers, and we need the president to be our hero, be our champion, Mr. President. This is a direct appeal to you. Help us in this fight. Stand by our side. Allow us to have the justice and closure that we deserve.
It has been a long-running fight. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki says the president remains committed to keeping that promise and will continue working with the Justice Department to release those records. We'll be right back.
I got this mountain bike for all.
I got a question.
Stand by.
The United States Congress and those that work in the White House is supposed to be working for us, the American people. Why do we even have to request such a request like this? Basically strong-arming various individuals of telling not just a portion of the truth, but the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help them God. It's almost as if they're part of the White House. It's almost as if they're part of this plot that was planned of wanting to bring harm and hurt and destruction to the American people all along. And I'm not necessarily talking about this administration, but the administration either before or during, whenever all this stuff took place 20 plus years ago. There's still a lot of questions that have not been addressed, that has not been answered in regards to this major catastrophe that is now I'm going to use the word absorbing, that is now absorbing like a sponge. It's absorbing the truth of people wanting to know the truth of generations that's below us, now in their 20s and 30s. They're wanting to know what actually occurred and why it occurred and how come we wound up spending over $6 trillion on basically two wars that we didn't get the bang for the buck for, towards Afghanistan and all that other stuff. It's really heartbreaking whenever our own people that we put in power, that we can't trust towards telling us the whole truth. It's a heartbreak. Kind of like the cover-up that happened out in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. It's a heartbreak that the officials, the experts, could not tell the whole truth in regards towards the Oklahoma bombing. It's a heartbreak of how come the officials in the Waco trials couldn't tell the whole truth pertaining to the ATF that basically used entrapment tactics on a group of people that was weak-minded and obviously scared to death, because they was basically a bunch of preppers down there getting ready for the doomsday preppers, waiting for the sky to fall. Why certain officials can't tell us the whole truth about incidences like that? You know, it's one thing for the government to make a mistake, and it's another thing to lie about the mistake, and it's another thing to continue to lie about the mistake, knowing that our government was lying to us the whole time. And we shouldn't have to wait, kind of like the Kennedy assassination tapes, we shouldn't have to wait 75 years or however long it's been. What has it been, like 55 years now? We shouldn't have to wait 55 or 60 years for certain people to die out just for the vast majority of the people to understand and to know what actually occurred pertaining to the JFK assassination. It shouldn't take that long. But that tells you the corruptfulness in our government of various people that they're trying to either hide or protect, take care of in some sort of way, that they only want to give the American people a certain portion of the truth, and they're not willing to give us the whole truth. There's no doubt in my mind that the Saudi Arabia government was involved in masterminding 9/11, because they was the very people that was over here the day of the attack of the only flight that left the American soil after aviation had been grounded, given presidential permission of leaving America and going back to its home country. Besides the close tidings that it had with the Bush oil tycoons that went even beyond Mr. Bush Sr. This is deep in what has occurred. And these people are letting the President of the United States know how they feel. That if you cannot reveal the whole truth, we don't even want you up here during the ceremonies. And they're putting this out a month ahead of time of how they feel about their loved ones that has suffered, died, and still suffering and dying because of 9/11. Please listen to this one more time for verification purposes.
There is concrete evidence that supports our allegations that the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia materially supported the hijackers, and we need the president to be our hero. Be our hero. Be our champion, Mr. President. This is a direct appeal to you. Help us in this fight. Stand by our side. Allow us to have the justice and closure that we deserve.
See, the news reporter that was over in Saudi Arabia that wound up walking into their castle, that wound up getting chopped up in little bitty pieces, and hauled out in suitcases, briefcases. He had the same imagery about this. And this isn't the first individual that I've heard speak up about 9/11. I've heard other ones that has come forth that has said without a shadow of a doubt they used bin Laden as a ploy. They used bin Laden as an scapegoat. Whenever they shut off all resources to bin Laden after 9/11 occurred, they know that that was their only way out. Their only escape was to put it all off on one particular individual, such as bin Laden and a few Goonies that they captured or they know that died during the actual attack. I got news for people. Bin Laden was not smart enough to have pulled that off. That just wasn't pulled off by a few dozen people. That whole thing was pulled off by hundreds, if not thousands of people that know that it was in the works, that had not only the sense to pull it off, but had the finances to pull it off. They had to have backing to be able to do this. And it wasn't just amongst one person. It was amongst the kingdom over there in Saudi Arabia, the people that we're still selling all kinds of artillery to this day, that don't mind at all towards bombing a hospital or a wedding or a funeral procession or a bunch of children in school. They are some of the most callous, coldest, rootless, evilest people on the planet. And until we get to the bottom of this, is what they're saying here, that has been promised about the 9/11, they really don't want no slackers coming in there pertaining to the politicians, boasting, basically beating their chest, acting like an ape, like they're some sort of a hero, if they're not willing to do more than what the Zeros has done. I'm sure if Mr. Biden was to tell the whole truth about the events that occurred pertaining to 9/11, that he would be admired for telling the truth. Just like there's certain people, if they was to come forth in the Oklahoma incident that happened in 1995, if they was to tell the whole truth, they would be admired. They would be hated by some, but admired by many. The same way with the truth down in Waco, Mount Carmel. If they was to tell the truth about what actually occurred pertaining to the screw up that ATF had embarked upon, I'm sure there would be people that would admire telling the whole truth instead of just part of the truth. Just like JFK, the assassin of JFK. There ain't no telling how many hundreds, if not thousands of people knows the truth about JFK. But they have chosen to close mouth it, seal it up, and I guess a lot of these people will wind up dying to their very grave knowing the truth, but are not willing to expose the truth. That is really sad whenever we live in a society this dangerous, that is being this dysfunctional here in America. Thanks again for listening. Good luck to each and every one of us as we go forth. God bless America. God bless our troops. And God bless those who are striving towards a greater awakening pertaining to truth and righteousness and holiness that comes from the Father. Good luck to each and every one of us, and shalom.